The big pigs and Ard Boys almost managed to trick you into starting a 4-inch move army. I can't believe that army is a 4-inch move army. It just shouldn't be. In my IMO.
I mean, dwarves shouldn't be 4-inch move either.
If you want to make dwarves 4 inches, fine, but, you know, in a game where movement is so important, you're going to have to give them insano crap to make up for it. But, like, Iron Jaw should just be 6.
Yeah, I like...
Yeah, they wear a lot of armor. It doesn't slow them down. They're fucking huge. That's the whole point. Is that
they wear a lot of armor,
massive.
And they're literally
if they didn't wear armor, they'd be like 8-inch move. I don't know.
That's like saying, okay, Chaos Warriors should be 4-inch move. They wear a lot of armor, and they're half the size of an orc. Where does the logic start?
They're main characters. That's why.
Ooh, yeah, well, yeah.
They're the main bad guy. They're the main bad guys of the entire setting, and orcs are NPCs.
You know, orcs were the main bad guys once. Once upon a time.
Yeah, true.
They were a big deal.
And I think their buff stuff is a little too pushed. Like, this is the hero that gives you one buff. This is the hero that gives you another buff. This is the hero that gives you a third one.
Yeah.
And the game kind of isn't built around running that many.
It's actually built around not running that many.
It's built around doing exactly the opposite of that. They did, I don't know how many of them ended up being sub-heroes or not. That might fix something, but...
I think most of them, like all the non-wizards in the game, most of the non-wizards became lieutenants, but...
Yeah, but I don't know if really good buff guys did, though.
Yeah. I mean, most of your good buff guys in the game are... wizards.
Wizards and priests and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Well, STD doesn't have
drummer
anymore. They took
what is it? The drummer guy is a priest. You know the dude with the anvil, Squig, who gives crit mortals or something, got bonus hero, Tong Boy. Oh yeah, the Tong, yeah.
Oh.
The burger flipper.
Dude, he's flipping birds.
That guy's kind of interesting. That was one of the big, like, anvil guy as a free foot hero when I was looking at it. Mm-hmm. That might change things. It was like when I looked at FEC and the crazy wigged judge guy became a free hero. And I'm like, ooh, that might change something there. That's an important...
Him getting...
That's not like Icebrow Hunter is free and you're like, whatever, you know. This is like a guy that you kind of wanted to run, but you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what Lieutenant should be there for. Like, it's... You want to run it, but you don't want to add an extra drop. Well, he's not a wizard, but he gives a cool buff. All right, put him in. It's fine. I wish non-wizards gave better buffs.
How long do you think it will take, CJ and chat? And I'm talking in number of editions. How long will it take before they just copy 40K's homework and foot heroes connect into squads and they're just part of it?
I hope literally never. Because I don't like it when 40K does it. Like, it's too restrictive at that point. Because it only buffs the thing it's attached to. And I think that's stupid and lame. I think it maybe makes more sense in 40K because it's so ranged. And, like, they can
right, but making heroes completely invisible and unable to be shot belongs in 40K and not AOS, and they brought it here anyway. I'm not saying should they. I'm saying how long until they do.
I don't think ever, and not just because I hate it and it's stupid. I think people don't like it, and it's one of those things that isn't important enough that I think GW actually, like, doesn't care enough to not listen to the feedback. Like, I don't know anyone who loves it, and I know a lot of people who hate it. So, I'm really hoping that...
Servidami brings up a good point. If they were going to do that, this would be the addition to do that, because this was the addition that they ground up, rewrote everything. Kind of.
Yeah, they ground up, rewrote everything. They just did it in 40K, so it's fresh on their minds.
Yeah.
If they were going to do it, it would have been this
Well, I feel better about that then, because like my nightmare scenario is foot hero with some unbelievably obnoxious ability, like ethereal 12-inch holy around him, and you just like connect him to a squad, so he's impossible to kill. He has like 30 extra ablative wounds now, and half of your army is ethereal. Like, to me, that's like the nightmare scenario where you have foot heroes that are staggeringly annoying, and there's no way to defeat them unless you can do 50 damage.
I also think it makes more sense from a model standpoint in 40K, where a lot of the heroes are like upgraded version of a unit of things that you have. Not that AOS doesn't have a lot of that, but it has significantly, like, that was like a fantasy thing that I think kind of got phased out as they moved.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong on fantasy. They had something that was a cinematically good idea, but kind of awkward and didn't play great when it came to finding rules to justify it. But it's something that like sounds cool and sounds cinematic, but it would be tricky to get it to actually work. And that is, the only heroes that can physically connect to a unit are the foot combat guys that have 0 buffs at all. They're just like a foot assassin. And so,
I think so.
And you had like, didn't you have like, if your squad has a hero attached to it, you can challenge someone and they like duel. And then whoever wins it, their squad gets like a bonus for the rest of the combat or something like that.
That is an SJ question, because he knows. I don't know the rules that deep.
That's
I
like
have rule books.
Yeah.
But
that's like vaguely similar to the thing they did in AOS for a little while, where they were taking, you'd have some like foot combat hero that literally doesn't do anything, but he pulls a squad in to fight with him.
Yeah,
I think that's like an inside out way of them trying to do that. And all those guys are horrible, but oh yeah, SJ. In Warhammer Fantasy, right? You had
the good game.
You possibly had like heroes in units, and they could issue challenges and stuff.
Correct.
Which is cinematically cool.
It was never as cool as your mind thought it was. That was for sure.
That's definitely what I thought the second shoe would be dropping for. But how did it? I guess my question was, did it end up not on the table? Did it end up kind of just this isn't cool?
It mattered because it usually gave you more combat resolution. Like if your hero was a absolute blender, and you know they had some kind of artifact that was like must accept all challenges given, then they throw their little champion out there. You do 6 wounds to them. Well, the overkill is like +3 to combat res. So it meant something in that game because that game was fundamentally different.
Yeah.
Long short answer.
If they did something where like you could take a unit and attach a hero that, like the stupid foot duelist kind of hero.
Yeah.
You could attach a hero to a unit like that. And then because you've done that, now that unit is one, like, it only takes 1 slot. Like, you're paying the points, but like you're putting your Chaos Lord in the unit of Chaos
Warriors.
Warriors.
It counts as 1 drop then.
It's 1 drop.
But maybe he can't leave as a downside or something.
He can't leave, but I could see it as a stupid, like, if you want to force it, you can now give stupid foot duelists a role without increasing your drops or increasing your regiments or anything like that. Like, if they really wanted to force it, that would be something I wouldn't hate, because I like the duelists, they just suck in the game.
If you wanted to make all-out attack even slower to resolve, you could have, if you win a challenge, like challenges happen, it's like after abilities but before real combat, you can do challenges. And if you win the challenge, then your guys get +1 to hit. And then there's no all-out attack. Like, that's how you get it. And if there's a hero attached to the unit, he can challenge the unit champion of the other guy. But the problem with attaching foot hero melee foot assassin guy being attached to a unit, well, now we have reinvented what a unit champion is, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's how they got unit champions.
Probably. And then they printed 700 foot heroes that don't do anything. And And now
They
this
do a
is
lot of
happening.
that. They do a lot of that.
The problem is the main guys you wanted to snipe by challenging were wizards, and they would reject the challenge.
Lamau.
Funny.
Wizards stay winning.
Stay winning. No.
No, I don't think I will.
No. I don't think I will.
Yeah, don't add that to Age of Sigmar, please.
Yeah.
That's a unique feature of the Warhammer Fantasy Battle system. You don't need it for Age of Sigmar.
It does sound like it would just really bog down everything, and it's like a really slow solution to a problem they got themselves into a different way. And it's not even really a solution.
It's also already a slow, like, it's already on the edge of the allegation of having slow, sludgy combat in Age of Sigmar as is. So don't.
Yeah, and they just made it
anything.
And they just made it way faster this edition, and it's still on the edge of being way too sludgy and slow.
What do you mean? We just played 2 games in 4 hours. That's quick, lightning fast.
Yeah, 2 games in 4 hours. It's lightning fast. I mean, the first game was very fast, but the second one, not so much.
You guys got 2 games in 4
We got 2 games in, yeah.
That was 3 Italian lunches.
Damn.
Well, 1, but yeah.
Mamma mia.
That was a good siesta.
Yeah, the first
Holy
game.
proxy! I missed the rest of the game. Did CJ win?
Yeah, that's fucking huge.
Yeah, because he won that big roll off.
Yeah, so the first
as
game.
is tradition.
Yeah. The first game, CJ decided to go first, and was going to charge everything, but then he failed to charge everything. He just charged some stuff, and then rolled a little subpar, we'll say. And then I got to charge with 6 monsters on the same turn that do guaranteed at least 4 mortals each. And then I won a double turn. And it was over. And so we're like, let's play another game and have the opposite happen this time. And the opposite didn't happen. Because no double turns were had, as far as I remember. Or maybe 1.
I think I got the double turn at the end, and that's what we called it.
So this time I went first instead of he goes first, and I still got off most of my charges, but we just got stuck into a grindy combat forever, as all of our units were whittled down almost about equally, actually, for the whole game. And then finally the last party was like, who's gonna win? Although advantage CJ, because he was losing less on the last turn.
And these fucking bats.
Dude, the bats were welcoming Thundertusk Beast Riders to Bat Country and just gnawing them down.
The Bat Boys became Bat Men.
Yeah, 2 units of bats were straight 100 to 0ing Thundertusk Beast Riders.
Well, Thundertusks suffer from buckets of dice killed them.
Yeah, but these don't have buckets of dice. They've only got 9 attacks.
Oh, well.
You know, I have 3, so.
Yes, no stone skeleton either.
Ooh, that's true. Overpowered
Big.
stone skeleton. I wonder how they're going to make it weaker when the book comes out.
Man, I don't know. Maybe only ignore the first damage in the combat phase. We're running out of ways to make an ability less impactful.
Oh no, that's what they're gonna steal later. They're gonna say, oh, duelists, they get a cool parry ability that's you ignore the first wound they take.
Mm-hmm. It's called like parrying dagger.
Yeah, parrying dagger or fleet footwork or something.
Or battle around. No, stone skeleton's going to be, well, it's so brittle that when you charge and successfully do mortal wounds, you take a mortal wound.
Yeah. If you roll doubles on your charge, your like bones start to fall off.
Yeah, your tummy hoits and you can't fight in combat.
The front fell off.
That's not supposed to do that.
Oh, yeah, Zeno brings up the problem that I was trying to solve, which is the only thing he likes, and I agree, about heroes being attached to units is that you don't have to have 2 separate charge rolls for a unit that's buffing the other unit. And so you have like 20 guys.
Chilling.
You have like 20 guys that are trying to charge, and then 1 hero that's for some reason supposed to also get into combat at the same time to issue his buff.
Yeah.
And the physicality of doing that is very often like impossible. Or at least like really annoying
was good. I mean, it worked for 40K because 7th edition was so complicated. And then they kind of cut out after that because they didn't need it. But with Warhammer Fantasy Battle, you needed it's exactly what Xena was saying. Like, there would be no other way to get heroes into combat. They would simply just get shot by 5 arrows, because hero models in Warhammer Fantasy Battle were 2 wounds on a 4-up save with a 5-up ward. Like, they die so easy that they need 30 wounds attached to them, and to hide behind a bunch of 2-up lookout sirs. Like, that was the point. Yeah, cannon sniping, the art. I'm from 6th edition dwarves. We can't pre-measure our cannon shots.
Was that when you couldn't pre-measure? You had to guess?
Yeah, when men were men.
When men had any sort of semblance of an eye for distance?
Yeah, or it's almost a skill to use cannons in the game. Like, 19 inches, please.
19
okay,
inches.
well, let's see. If it has a healthy bounce, it might still hit.
How many millimeters is that?
Go fuck yourself.
What the hell is a kilometer?
All these men playing Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So skilled, so much practice. They get all the distances right, but for some reason they never get 8 inches. They're always off. they're always off by about 2. I can't understand it.
And then they were like, well, that's too difficult. Just say how many inches off the model you want to shoot at, and that's fucking lame.
I want to shoot 0 inches off the model. I want to shoot the model.
Well, cannons literally just became, 10 inches off the model. Okay, you roll the dice. It takes an amount of distance between 0 and 10 inches off of that 10 inches. And then it bounces another 0 to 10 inches potentially. So you basically always hit with cannons after that. And that was... That's why that game's fucking dead.
That game's fucking dead, dipshit.
Yeah. Like,
the old world, more like the old folks' home.
Cannons are too good. Let's make magic fucking outrageous. And then, yeah. Then it was all over.
I heard stories, but I don't know if it even ever happened. Maybe it really did, of people setting up their whole army and then, like, turn 1, I'm an elf, I cast Purple Sun, and I win the game.
Oh, I have
Is that real?
Been a part of a 1-turn game. Yeah. And they're always funny because it's just like, oh my god, look at that. Okay, anyways, let's play another game.
It just means you get 2 games in,
game
right?
could be 45 minutes.
Lamo.
G-Well, thanks for the 5 Canadian dollar dues. Guys, it's the year of the snake. You know what that means. The snake people of all varieties, time and AOS. Let's go.
2 toonies and a loony.
Plizkins, rise up.
2 toonies. Just silly country.
Toonies and some loonies. Put it in the microwave. The middle pops out. Don't try this at home.
They call them loonies.
Yeah, it's not yet the year of the snake. We got 25 minutes.
Also, it's like 23 days.
Oh yeah,
It's
because
not
it's
until Chinese New Year.
yeah.
They don't. It's not the Gregorian calendar.
Yeah, because they didn't know what God was.
Who's Greg? Fuck that guy.
Well, which was it, Greg or Ian?
Greg or Ian.
Those assholes had a chance to make. What's the math? It's like 13 months with 30 days apiece. It comes
That's
out
a
perfect
joke.
or some shit.
No.
Fucked it up.
It would be... Oh, fuck. I don't know.
I heard the math once, and it made me mad, so my brain decided to never remember it. Game 3. I bet CJ's brain is melted after 2 games of Age of Sigmar.
I would rather eat dinner.
I'd rather eat a Connecticut dinner.
I'd rather eat a Connecticut dinner. Would you make me the 3rd happiest man in Connecticut?
All right, do we want an even faster game 3?
Oh shit!
I've done this already.
This is my most difficult to play, highest skill, most IQ required army. Right here we got 4 gate breakers, This is what I would play if I was a Gargant player.
Did they change the points on Gatebreakers?
They did not.
Ooh, good. Or
You
bad? 'Cause
you
they
still cannot play King Broad and 3 Gatebreakers, which
Yeah,
means the
counter
arm, which means the book sucks.
The book does suck.
Afraid of their power.
Yeah,
This is a book.
they're afraid
for
of.
people
They're actually
who eat their own
terrified of
fingers.
fun. That's the. If I had one word, if I had one sentence to describe the Sons of Behemoth battle tome or index, this is a book written by people terrified of fun.
Well,
Yeah.
man, Sons of Behemoth had their time to shine for 3 months at the beginning of 3rd edition and have been paying for it ever since.
Well, they're like, let's invent an
Absolutely
army that can't do anything
paying
but
for
stand
it.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And if you
They had
can't
the
do enough
opportunity.
damage, you just lose to it.
They
And if
were
you
like,
can, you always win, and no player has any agency over the outcome.
Yeah, can I one turn a Gargant? Okay, cool. That's
If yes,
we'll
then
be
you
fine.
always win. If no, then you always lose. Damn. Exciting. Awesome.
awesome.
Thrilling.
Well, and the worst part is the bits suck. These are just big, fat, dumb idiots. They could have made an army of beasts.
They could have given them.
horrid monsters.
They could have given them 2 different leg positions.
They could have given
Two
them
different leg
leg
positions.
positions.
Make one giant lady.
Like
Cowards.
my bitch wife. Yeah,
I
make
want
a giant
a
lady.
big necromancer lady giant who resurrects other giants, and then you get
That'd
a
be
skeleton giant to put it out.
I want the
Oh, the
necromancer.
bone giant from the
D4.
Tomb Kings?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. Oh,
Except
Model goes up to
except
the
he's got
hips
like a
of current
mastodon
Guardian.
bone head and 4 arms.
Who up getting a bonehead?
At least they
Yeah,
don't play
I was
like their 40K counterparts and never run the big ones. I mean, ideally, you're probably supposed to run a bunch of the littles if you want to be
That's
so
so lame.
objectively better.
What if they were wolves or
Except that's
anything cooler?
completely lame. So no.
The whole army is fucking lame. Ah!
Right on the edge of greatness. Just
I
needs
like
a
these
push.
guys. They whip boulders. They're boulder whippers, and the boulders actually hit hard, so they're
Boulder
cool.
whippers.
And then they have the flip a funny coin to do 12 mortals ability. That's fun too.
Yeah, they gave them fun rules. I just hate the models. This is just a big
Yeah.
fat guy, and they had a carte blanche. Their only guiding principle was we have to make a book that's the fantasy version of Imperial Knights.
Yes.
And they said, let's make big, tall, fat idiots we can monopose.
Imperial
And,
Knights sold gangbusters. What if we made giants?
What if we made giants that aren't customizable in the same interesting way?
Yeah. We'll
And
make
also
one
big, fat,
pose.
dumb idiot. One pose. Ugh.
And it's pigeon-toed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just-
it is a little bit. The hills have eyes.
Because they're a giant. Being a giant in Age of Sigmar is like a birth defect.
Yeah, you're like
They could have been
inbred.
golems.
You're like 12 generations inbred.
They could have been just the rage of the realms
Yeah.
themselves.
Elemental giant
Elemental-
golems.
Give me
Yeah,
some
and
storm giants from Dungeons and Dragons.
they could have been. They could have been an interesting culture of giants. Yeah, like the storm giants or just the variety of D&D giants. They've got a spectrum.
The
and
well-
instead they're on the spectrum.
The well to pull from as far as giant and that's it, that's your only direction, is very deep.
Yeah, and they did the worst, awfulest first idea that gets shot down instantly in a room full of adults thing.
And it's still the best giant they've ever made by 100 miles.
It's
I
so
blame
much better
the
than the other
British.
giants.
There has never been a British giant of any renown.
Yeah, I saw
Only includes
BFG. That
Tolkien.
movie sucked.
I saw BFG. Yeah, that fucking writer sucks. I don't give a shit about the Great Glass Elevator.
Get him. Roald Dahl's been too
Roald
hot
Dahl,
for
you
too
fucking
long.
hack. I don't give a shit about the Twits. I don't care about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That stupid fucking kid and his 87 aunts and uncles who can't work a job. Surely Roald Dahl. Is Roald Dahl a man? He's got a
Roald
woman's
Dahl
name.
was a fella.
Well, he's got a woman's name.
Wow.
Damn, CJ, when British people try to make giants.
Get out of my face, you stupid
I'm not
ugly
even sure if
Why
he's
won't
British.
somebody deal with the fucking sentries?
I don't
Oh, he
like
was
them.
Confirmed for Brit.
They were like right next door. They could have said, instead of the word giant, they say the word Jotun. And all of a sudden you are infinitely better.
Wait, Jotun Grunt, a 4/4 for 2 that removes stuff from the graveyard as an upkeep cost? That card was sick, kind of, in the sideboard of Zoo, kind of, for like 6 months in Legacy, when Legacy was weak.
It's a pretty fucking rad card.
Dude, Jotun Grunt, dude.
Dwarf
was
and Dwarf
splashable.
Direct, where are the female giants?
Where are they? Nowhere. They're in
They're
hell.
afraid.
Where is your namesake?
They're afraid.
Literally nowhere. Never gonna happen.
Not true. They're in Blood Bowl.
They're
Blood
in
Bowl
Blood
to the
Bowl.
polls.
Just get more wood. Omega
Omega lol. It's fine. I just hate these giants. Honestly, controversial opinion.
Get them.
I hate these giants more than I hate Chorfs.
Pussy.
But not as much as I hate pirates as a concept.
I hate
And this guy's
privateers.
got feelings all over the place.
Look at this dude.
If
He's
I'm gonna
shooting from the
feel
hip. He's
something-
got 15 minutes left in the series. Get it all out.
No, he's
Get it all
he's
out.
right. Pirates are stupid. That is true.
Pirates are stupid.
And I say
Pirates
this
are
as someone who
stupid.
just put pirates in my last Rifts game, but
But they were rope. The captain has 6 fucking arms.
the captain had
were
6
a
fucking
demon.
arms, and the first mate teleported onto the bridge and then tried to teleport away. Then you redirected it to fucking Mexico Vampiro land.
Mexico.
That guy got
Boy,
fucking,
fuck
he got
Mexico.
vamped. It was over.
I'm going to Mexico.
Like, shall we roll this combat? Well, it's one guy in a city of 6 million vampires. So, no. I won't be rolling that combat. It's over. Now the city has 6 million and 1 vampire.
He should have just been immune to being a vampire like our entire party.
Well, even if he were, he wasn't immune from being torn limb from limb by supernatural alien intelligences.
Well, he shouldn't have fucked with the wrong hombres.
True.
Vampire pirates are in total. Yeah, and they suck there too.
Hey, I'll be
Vampire
the,
pirates fucking blow my ass.
I'll be the devil's advocate here. Vampirates are a meme at this point. If GW actually did them, they'd probably be pretty neat.
Well, as far as finally doing the meme goes, GW's 2 for 2. They brought back squats and they made fishmen.
And they brought back the old world, the ultimate
old
meme.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
If they did pirates, they would just do Pirates of the Caribbean. And that's fucking dumb.
I hope
Yeah, it
not.
would just be skeletons with bandanas.
You mean
just be skeletons.
you mean 13 years too late? Sounds
Yeah,
about
just like-
right, actually.
Just like Disney.
Uh,
They're
Well,
just
and
chasing
that's
that high.
that's the vampirates they have in the old world are
Yeah.
just
It's just
skeletons with bandanas on
yar. Like it's.
and
I don't
old timey cannons and
I don't-
ships.
I don't give a shit about your Scooby Doo
yeah,
zombies.
but this Malibu Stacy has a hat.
Oh shit!
Well.
I heard somebody talking about Vampirates. And
Oh
that-
damn!
you know, so I
Back
was
me up,
summoned.
Vince.
If it isn't
I
Vince
I
the
am,
Body Bencharella.
I was shooting from the hip and I got my man.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
What a
happy
surprise.
happy East Coast New Year. We got 14 minutes until Central.
Yes, indeed.
We're living in the past. Quick, what happens?
All of the things, everything you ever wanted to happen happens. Don't worry.
Let's fucking go.
All true. All of it.
I can't wait to be a billionaire in 10 minutes.
That's exactly correct. Well, it's actually It's a little bit longer than that. So don't give up if it doesn't happen in 10 minutes.
I'm edging towards giving up.
He's pulling
his cock out!
The answer is Vampirates are a meme. Like, we all know it.
Oh, it's 100% a meme. Yeah.
Right. Because what it is, I mean, obviously, in the old world, it was Vampire Coast. Like, it had a reason for existing, because much like Magic the Gathering and Ixalan, they were like, well, if you're going to have conquistador explorers colonizing a new world, of course they need to instantly become vampires. I don't know why that's a thing that happens in all genre and all across all game systems, but apparently it is. So
Virgin evolution. Everyone loves pirates. I mean,
everything
crabs.
becomes pirate.
The vampiratification of fiction.
Yeah.
A single white dwarf article, and here we are today.
Like, I get it in the old world, but in here, there's honestly so many better ideas they could do.
They could go with anything.
inclined.
And there's not really like ocean stuff happening, so I guess it would just be more airships. I'm not sure.
I'm tired of hearing the word airship. I grow weary.
I grow weary, Sage.
I don't know. I haven't heard it enough. Where's the airships? Like, all we've proven so far in AOS is that if you are an army that relies on airships, you're bad.
You're bad.
That's all that we know so far. Is that
Where's Goblin Air Pirates?
Where's Skaven air pirates?
correct?
Where's ghosts can fly? They can be air pirates.
Well, you know, they did bring back a flying grot in
That's
a certain
true.
way, a goblin who can fly.
Yeah,
they do
literally
use
just
a
like
catapult.
yoinked it from the old world.
Yeah, they brought
put
that
it on
back.
A wolf. I love those wolves.
They're pretty sick.
They look so cool. I would just
I
simply.
am neutral on them. That is my answer.
I like the wolves. I would just build them without the goblins on them.
As a nostalgia-pilled Warhammer Fantasy Battle apologist, I think they're pretty neat.
I like the. I mean, they're good. They're good sculpts. They're dynamic-looking models. They have a lot of. They have some character to them.
Oh,
It's
MHS
just to me,
has
to me, it's like they added. You have a pillowcase at Halloween, like a kid, and it's filled with 20 different types of candy, and then you threw a 21st different type of candy in there, and it's one book.
It's one. Listen.
And so I don't know how that book
new.
doesn't become just kind of rise to the top random stuff.
They could have put.
You can't balance 5 different faction armies in that thing.
No. I'm shocked they didn't boot the whatever's left of spiders
Spider-Fang?
just from below.
Well, there's like what, 2 models?
Big Spider.
There's the Spider Riders and then Big Spider.
Oh, I thought they got rid of the Spider Riders.
And then the heroes.
Oh, they're still there
They're
somehow.
still there.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind those couple models though. They've made into 5,000 different kits because our rule set doesn't allow for someone to just be armed differently.
Yeah.
True.
I mean,
That's
to
weird.
be fair, that's what they did with BCR, right? We have 6 different monsters. It could be 2.
Absolutely.
Like it could be Thunder Tusks and Stonehorns, and let's just simplify the whole thing. And that's probably what will happen in
Once you're officially
In,
the
uh,
monster in the ogre book.
yeah. Like range refresh, full togetherness, kind of new lore probably. You know, one
No
big
new ogre
army.
models.
In the last book, there's all this lore about the Civil War that the Gutbusters won. So it's like prepping us. Even the few people who know anything about the lore are like, okay, so they're preparing us to move in that direction.
So we
I'm
can
just
like
excited for your third terrain piece, which I have no doubt will also
Yeah,
about-
wizard only. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait.
will also be about Gutbusters. Yes.
We're gonna have like
It'll
a
do damage
funeral
to you.
for
It'll be great.
BCR that day.
Well, they are like legitimately giving everyone endless spells whenever their books come out, right? In general, that seems to be a thing we're going to
Yeah,
do.
we might get an invocation. You know, like one
Yeah.
invocation, 2 endless spells could be something like that.
Yeah, because they could go the doc route, but it would be much funnier if they just made 3 endless spells that were all
Yeah.
The spells. They just printed one big middle finger.
Yeah.
There's your invocation, dipshit. Flail
Why
wizard.
don't you summon yourself some bitches?
This one's the Big Maw of Oosh.
Big
I wonder what this is.
I'm just excited to see how much of a change in direction or change in, I guess, style and look. If there is some grand refresh on the horizon, which is probably not the case, but we hope, right? I wonder what they'll do with it.
Binkies crossed.
Considering how long it took them to do Skaven and Lizardmen. Ooh, boy. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? It could be that in 21 years, I'll be doing the Icebrow Hunter in memoriam millennials entire life
2004.
history music video.
The Cyber War.
It'd be a perfect companion piece to the 1993.
Yeah.
The greatest Heywoah video ever made. I'll
Yeah,
be taking no further
fantastically
questions.
DMCA'd. I make no money from it. This was a passion project. It started as, how has the game industry moved as this game hasn't, right, for some of the models? And I'm like, this is how many PlayStations have come out since, this is how many Xboxes, this is the Doom series, the first one came out in 93. What is Doom doing now, so on and so forth. But it ended up by the end of it being like, if you're a gamer who's also a millennial, this is like your whole life.
Yeah, it was a greatest hits of my entire life.
I'm not going to comment on the fact I was in high school when that model came out. So it's slightly different.
Vince saw it in Wifedorf. Oh, let's go! Fucking playground.
Yeah, I guess when were the first millennials? Is it 81 or something? And I don't know the exact dates of stuff.
There's a couple different
Yeah.
methods of counting, but anywhere from 80 to 80.
They want 81 to 96 for millennials, apparently.
Okay.
Yes, there are many places where people have tried to, sort of cut the line.
Mm-hmm.
It's all made up crap, anyways. But
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Apparently 25 starts the next generation.
The fucking beta cucks.
The beta cucks, yeah.
Really? Is it
Yeah.
called Team
Generation.
Beta?
Generation
Beta?
beta cucks, yeah.
Oh no.
Those
When are we
fucking
getting Generation
nerds.
Sigma?
When we're dead, thankfully.
Probably in like 80 years.
Generation Sigmar grind set.
Sigmar grind set.
I got to see my first 9-year-old boy tell me Skibbity Sigma and put his hand on his chin, and I wanted to implode from cringe.
Was he mewing you?
Oh yeah, he was doing the full like
You were getting
V
your
with
ass.
his hand, like he was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, Skibbity Sigma, my dude.
Dude, he hit you with that fucking baby Gronk Riz.
I got to listen to a soup. I got to listen to a super leftist high school student ask me why no one opposed the Iraq War, and I almost lost it.
No one thought
sorry,
to
what?
oppose it.
How come everyone just agreed with George W. Bush and no one opposed the Iraq War? And I'm like, oh,
Famously, nobody.
famously no one. Okay.
How are the chicks doing? Formerly the Dixie Chicks.
Decent.
Hey, alright.
Really young
Still
people
torn.
telling you how things didn't happen as you lived through that exact event. No, they just let them do it. Did they? Okay. No one had a problem with it. Well, you know better than me, person who wasn't alive. Sure.
Mm.
You know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Fool can't get fooled again.
You know, fooled man can't get fooled again. All the Bushisms.
Now watch this drive.
Now watch this drive.
I mean, that is an all-timer as far as funny.
Oh,
So
Oh, the
good.
the now watch this
greatest-
drive is
45
top
seconds
3.
of any president ever.
Yeah,
We're going to
it's
stop these
wonderful.
guys. We're going to defeat evil wherever it lays. Now watch this drive.
I
It
saw
was,
clip
and
of
it
him
was a good
trying-
swing. You know, in his defense,
Good. It was a
it
good
was a
drive.
good swing. It was a good
Yeah,
drive.
he was a baseball team owner. Of course he knew how to play golf.
I saw a clip of him trying to push a door open and then pull a door open and then look at a camera sad because he couldn't get the door open.
Damn, that's like a microcosm of his presidency.
Oh, it's true. Jeb gave us the please clap. It's
Oh,
a meme
yeah.
family.
It's
Yeah.
all Jeb.
And HW killed JFK. It was a whole family.
He
The whole
didn't
family
personally do it,
memes.
but he,
He-
well, I've said too much. Hey, Herbert Walker went skydiving in a wheelchair. That's sick, all right?
That's pretty dope.
That's pretty badass.
And he had an episode of The Simpsons.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, he
have
did, where he hated Homer.
He hated Homer. Anti-American George.
He was working on his memoirs, and that is why a second term was unnecessary.
Goddamn,
Accomplished
Kazahug,
all
yeah,
my
right?
goals.
Jeez.
Man, remember when The Simpsons was good?
Yeah, I do. I lived through that too.
1998.
Season
Careful,
1.
if you keep going down this road, you're literally just going to get you are all going to just collapse into a pile of nostalgia member berries and explode.
That's what you do on New Year's Eve.
Sure. It causes reflection. That's what you mean, yes?
No.
Looking back.
Yeah, my
But
New
there's
my
all
New
the
Year's
times
resolution is
past.
to upload at least one video.
Oh, man, you're going to nail it. Just upload this stream. Easy.
Oh,
Got
crushed
yeah,
it.
they don't
Got 'em.
count.
Got him. Fucking got him.
How's everyone's knees and back feeling? They're perfectly prepped to get replaced by robot parts. Thank you very much.
Brew.
I want to be a cyborg so bad.
Scoop this worthless flesh.
They say interfacing with machines makes the first few generations crazy. I just think they're weak. They don't want it.
You go in like
They don't want it bad
partial,
enough.
You go in full conversion. You know,
Oh,
that's the only
full.
question.
Yeah,
My brain in a jar sitting in a cyborg suit made of titanium.
the only way to
Yeah.
fly.
Atom Smasher.
Adam
Smash her to the poles.
Adam Smasher to the poles.
Did you have any of you ever read Planetary? The comic series Planetary?
I have not.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Planetary.
It felt like a thing that maybe Heywoah had read, since in general,
Because he too is old.
well, I mean, he and I have almost like the exact same sort of like cultural touch points I've found. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's from Warren Ellis. Okay, so whatever. It's good. It's a great series. Would recommend. Whatever. In there is one issue randomly where there's some things happening, and they are fighting a cyborg. Like, they have a partial conversion cyborg with them, and they run up against another cyborg. And I don't want to be crass on your channel, but the sort of fascinating part about it is the cyborg talks about how he misses all of his human parts.
Oh, boys. Happy New
all
Year's.
of his human parts, yes.
Mhm.
And that his creators replaced that particular sensation, yes, with a similar feeling whenever he kills somebody. He then proceeds to get in a fight with them.
Yeah.
So anyways, my point is that, like, be careful going full conversion right away in the first generation. You never know what crazy scientists are up to, right?
That's true.
It's
I've
like
seen the way we've launched technology the last 10 years. You do not want to be first.
Yeah, I don't want the iPhone 1 of full cyborg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like graphics.
You just
It's like
can't wait.
CPU architecture. You want wave 2. Once they work out all the kinks. And that exact description, by the way, was at 98 for the comic.
Oh, Planetary? It originally came out in 98. Yeah,
Okay.
I was reading it in college. I don't know when.
So
I
that
couldn't tell you
whole
all the episodes. I have
situation,
them all upstairs in my long boxes.
that whole situation you described, was also in that was an explanation for how the I want to say the converted Marines were the Strogg from Quake 1. In the little booklet you could read, because games used to have little booklets, that was a descriptor of the first enemy you fight.
Quake 1, okay.
Rated E for everyone, by the way.
Oh my god.
And maybe this will make Vince feel old.
Now they didn't have the
apparently-
name. They didn't have the name Strogg, I don't think, until Quake 2, but it was the guys, and I believe it was in the Quake 1 booklet that talked about it.
Just real quick, by the by, if you're ever interested in a fun comic series, Planetary is a very fun one. It's like the main characters are the main character is like a centennial. He was born on January 1st, 1900, and that's special. There's a whole bunch of special people were born then, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the fun part about it is it was Warren Ellis just like writing in knockoff versions of everything he loved from culture. Like there's a knockoff Godzilla, there's knockoff Wonder Woman, the bad guys are the knockoff Fantastic Four. Like it's just his take on all of this. There's like Sherlock Holmes and a bunch of pulp era stuff. Like there's a Tarzan equivalent and all these kinds of things. So it's just a big giant. If you like riffs,
Sure.
because you love the weird,
That's kind of rad.
zoop nature of some creative like taking every pop culture thing they love and shoving it into one milieu. This is also that. So there you go.
Okay,
We've got
so
the
like
full omnibus on Amazon.
an alternative LXG then.
Yes, correct. Very much so. In fact, they even reference they have their own version of like an.
They went
LXG.
meta with it. We have our own
Yeah.
version of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Cool.
Thomas Edison and a bunch. I don't remember who else was in the group, but yes, like all these people from the turn of the 20th century. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Anywho, it was fun. If you're looking for a
Previewed
good
in
omnibus
issue
pickup,
of
it's worth it.
Gen 13.
It is also weird as hell, by the by. Like
Ooh.
trippy, weird, crazy stuff. So
Good. I like weird shit. I got it on a tab to save it for later. Who's the artist?
I always like the art.
Cover's
One
good.
John Cassidy appears.
Cover's good. A little
John
reminiscent to
Cassidy.
Blade Runner,
Yeah, John Cassidy. Yeah, there you
I
go.
would say. Which I'm not against.
Born in Fort Worth, Texas. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like a very like heavy, inky, dramatic, noir-y style.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, dramatic noir style. I'm bringing a little bit of that in on the next Rift game. I gotta schedule that out.
Let's fucking go.
We gotta get there needs to be a little bit of noir because there is,
Oh, sure.
and so I gotta put it in somewhere.
And
And
Vince's
it's-
character in noir.
It is
Voice
so
would fit
fun to
perfect.
write in 100% cliche.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta let it loose. It's what the heart wants.
I just ran a 4-day D&D marathon,
Ooh.
and set during a magical version of the French Revolution. So it was,
Ooh.
steeped in French lore for like French lore, lore. What they call that,
Yeah, French
what they
lore.
call
We-
history. If you're
The,
cool.
the French may be convinced that it is history. It is not.
Lore. You mean history? Well, yeah, that
right,
too.
exactly. Yeah, the real world lore.
History in the world.
But yes, where like the king is and all the noble class are the noble estate, the first estate, whatever, are all vampires. And so yada yada, blah blah blah, fun anti-vampire game, and like that. It's a good time.
Rad.
Good time, but it like it's fun to work in getting the PCs to like attack the Bastille and stuff like that, right? It's cool.
Cool.
Semi close to that. I assume at some point, Vince, you have run or participated in a Warhammer Fantasy role play.
I have played it, yes.
Let's go.
Have you played fourth?
No, I played whatever the version was in the. When did I last play it?
That third edition that everyone apparently
Thousands?
hated?
Probably. Whatever was around in like 2001, I think. 2002.
Oh, that might have been second edition. I don't know. What did you think?
It was fine. Like it was fine. I generally like big damn hero stuff, and it's very like gritty and close to the ground, you know, kind of stuff. So,
I gotcha.
You know, you're. It's much more of like the horrors are all about us and are all around us, and I am but a humble rat catcher or whatever.
I'm a humble beggar.
I am but a humble vagabond with eyeball a fella.
Yeah, and I much more prefer the like. Okay. My favorite Friday the 13th movies are Part 3 and Part 10, because in obviously the first one's amazing, is the best of all of them actually, but the third one, because Jason ends up fighting a psychic person, which is awesome, like somebody who has telekinesis, not just a normal human. And Part 10, because when he first comes back, when he's just Jason, he gets the living crap kicked out of him by like an upgraded cyborg. And I love the idea that like he was in the ground for hundreds of years and like humanity just got better than that. Like he's not scary anymore. People like the weapons and stuff that people have and how humanity is upgraded. It's like, no, you're not scary anymore. We're better than you now. It's the Buffy moment from season 2.
We
where
getting Buffy references? Hell yeah.
Yes, of course. Where Angelus sends the like unstoppable killing demon after her, and so they cannot be harmed by any weapons created by the hand of man. And she shoots it with a rocket launcher and says, "I don't think the monks had this in mind when they wrote that." And he just explodes. You know, that's my point. That's the kind of stuff I like.
Nice. Yeah, I think too much we fall on. I'm always annoyed. I'm one of those people that is annoyed when the magic thing just shows up and it's immune to everything for no reason.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like ancient.
Right.
The weird thing that I don't know if it started with Lord of the Rings or D&D a little bit or something, of the older something is, the better it is. Which is like literally the opposite of true for virtually everything ever. Like, oh, this is this is a 500-year-old sword. Okay. So it's falling apart and it needs like museum quality handling. Otherwise it'll disintegrate.
Well, that is like one of those things.
We had this old thing and we lost the knowledge and.
Yeah, it's always that. It's like that feels so baked into fantasy now, right? Of like, oh, the golden age was sometime in the past.
Yeah, it's always not necessarily a decline. A lot of times it's a rediscovery.
Right.
I think that's the excuse to have the cool magic thing in the abandoned dungeon, because obviously the previous civilization, the Dwemer, before they left reality, left all this shit behind.
Don't you be talking about Dwemer with me, young man.
I knew that would trigger you.
The tonal architects shouldn't have been monkeying around with the heart of Lorcan, don't you know?
Oh, they're gods now, okay?
Agronach's tools were not toys. The year was 2002. The second plane hit the tower and Todd Howard said, "We gotta go to the mountain."
Todd Towers?
And everyone agreed with George Bush implicitly.
Oh, yeah,
there was no pushback.
There's no pushback. Everyone agreed with him. And then afterwards they started arguing about it because it's cool to hate Bush now.
Yeah.
Nostalgia for a mythical past is a common part of stories the world over. That's true in a broad sense.
Oh yeah.
I'm more talking about the efficiency and the power of like a particular piece of technology or something. But yeah, like harkening back to a mythical past that didn't really exist, is certainly a.
I mean, certainly the Lord of the Rings has that archetype in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The earlier ages were all.
I guess that's a way to tie in long-lived races, which are always usually just about to be overtaken by humans. Like that tends to be the time period settled upon.
Oh, weird. 40K has that.
Whoa, the setting that is literally ripping off every piece of fiction ever
Plagiarism, the
written.
setting.
Look, the
But-
difference.
Oh,
I learned about
no
this
way.
in film school. The difference between homage and ripoff is whether you like it or not.
It's true. Why do they spell homage with an H? It's kind of stupid.
Why do they spell
Homage.
our with an H?
You know, you're right. We shouldn't.
Got him.
Or we should pronounce it Hower
Yeah,
Homage.
and hors d'oeuvres.
and hors d'oeuvres.
Mostly it's because the words we steal from other languages, we try to at least kind of respect their rules, which is why we get half Latin and half Greek for a lot of the base words we have. And so like it becomes awkward when you're trying to think of plural ways. And sometimes you just have to look at the root and be like, okay, is it cactuses or is it cacti? Well, is it Latin? What about octopus? It's octopuses. Okay. But is it cacti? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Octopodes.
What about
Or-
fungus? That's fungi. Oh.
If
Did
it's
the-
English long enough.
Did the GIF guy
everything's
come up with that
correct.
one?
Fuck that fucking GIF guy. I can't believe I'm still talking about the fucking GIF guy. What was that? 8 years ago now? God damn.
Look,
Years ago.
it proved an important point. You can
Ugh.
invent something and be wrong about how to say it.
It's true.
Just because you're the one who created it doesn't mean you can't be wrong about how to say it or
Just
use
because
it.
George Lucas made Star Wars doesn't
Separate
mean
the-
you gotta make any good Star Wars.
George Lucas invented Glup Shido.
Look,
and in
Glup
this house,
Shido is
he's
my
a hero.
favorite character. Glup Shido, Cho Gurtho,
Joe
the best
Gertho's
jizz
Salacious
whaler
Beef
on the
Roast.
Star
Slip
Station.
slopper.
He was a jizz whaler.
That's right, yeah. Let us not forget the glory of jizz music. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love jizz.
I love that they retconned it. They changed the name when George
Jizz
Lucas
or
realized
whatever
what the
jazz-
word meant.
Oh.
He's
So
like,
is
I want a funny word for jazz. And then 5 years later, we'll edit all those Wikipedia. It's not jizz whaling anymore. It's a different type of music.
More of an arc bumpy Roos guy.
Mark Bumpy Roots? Oh, he's so good. He was a racer.
I mean, he's no Sebulba, but
No,
you know,
well, who could be? He was he was a bit of a cheater, but he won all the races.
more of a Clegg Holdfast kind of
Now, don't even come at me with Clegg Holdfast, dude. He doesn't have a single candle held to one sandage.
Wow. Any one of those names could have been made up just now, and I would not know.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
luckily
if
for
you
you,
are,
they weren't.
If the two of you are not on the Wikipedia page, I am deeply impressed.
Well, thank goodness CJ posted a full pod racer name with the pod racer picture next to it in the chat. If you scroll up to the 14th,
Yeah, there it is.
Just been right and reading off of it.
Dud
Everyone's talking about him
Bolt.
with Matt. Odie Mandrill, dude. Oh god.
Oh,
the pod racer
Gasgano.
Gas Gano.
Team Toe Pelagis. Pagalis. Oh my god.
Evie
Endocott.
Endocott. Dude, this is like you're reading through the fake American names from that one Japanese baseball game.
I think one of these is my sleeper code, and you're gonna say it, and I'm gonna kill George Lucas.
Oh, leave him alone. He's making movies for him now.
He's not making movies. He's jerking off on the Skywalker Ranch.
Like I said.
Like,
He's jizz
Eating
whaling.
salad in the food court in Adelaide. That's what he's doing.
trying to eat a salad, giving me a headache. George, it's your movie.
That's
You're
talking
nice.
about
A
Little
glove
David Lynch there.
shitto.
It's talking about a Wookiee.
Yes.
I love David Lynch.
Man, what would have happened
What
if
do you mean
David
these
Lynch didn't have a migraine that day?
I did Return of the Jedi. Oh boy.
Well, they made him get a credit card, and that's when it started.
Dude, the Ewoks would have been nightmarish.
Oh,
The Ewoks would have been something special.
would have been great. But no.
And that one guy who's in every single thing he makes would have been in it randomly. What's his face? Fucking Twin Peaks guy. was also
Kyle
in Dune.
McLaughlin?
Yeah, he would have been
You're
in there
talking about-
somewhere.
You talking about the actual Paul Atreides, Kyle McLaughlin? Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
my Paul Atreides.
My Paul
My
Atreides.
Lisa
My
Algae.
Paul Atreides.
Not my Paul when the new movie comes
Hashtag
out.
not my Paul. Who's this twink?
They didn't have that word back then, but they would have used it.
This 35-year-old man is the young prince.
Time they complained he looked too young and immature for the role of Paul Atreides, and I was so like, boy oh boy, if those critics could only see forward in time.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't know.
Wasn't
Guy
wasn't
looks like he was about
Stewart
to get his AARP card?
wasn't Picard in the original Dune? I remember.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
And he had like a little dog.
Gurney Howland.
Dude, I'm just
And now-
remembering snippets of the fever dream that was that Dune movie. Wasn't there like
remember
a
the shield?
multiple
wasn't there a
versions of
cat
that
connected
Dune
to a
on
potato in a cage?
Oh. Yes. This is your... No, Thufa's one of us now. He's a Harkonnen. This is your cat, Thufa. You must milk it every day to have the antidote to the poison.
Oh yeah, the cat milking to get the antidote.
All I see is an Atreides I want to kill. That's Sting. No, Thufa's a Harkonnen now. I could probably just start and do that whole movie. I have watched that movie, oh god, I don't know, 100 times, 120 times.
God
Like that's
damn.
real numbers.
You are the Lisan Al Gaib.
That's,
Lisa,
Lisan Al Gaib.
absolutely. I love original Dune. When that recently when they released like the awesome 4K Blu-rayed up version of that, I was on that ordering that day one, buddy. Let me tell you what.
So how did the new Dune sit with you?
It was fine.
Damn.
It was fun. It was a very clinical, just clean adaptation that
The
unravels a little bit towards the end, but had some great performances except for the girl.
Ooh.
the second one is far worse than the first one.
Yeah.
The
So,
second one's got so much less to do.
I mean, we short shrifted a lot of the characters in this, despite it breaking it into two movies. Like Dr. Yui, who is a relatively important character in the whole scope of the thing, and also played by an awesome actor in the original David Lynch Dune. Like you basically have no time with him, so his
Yeah.
betrayal is like not really that. Spoilers, by the way, for
Yeah, he's a person you don't know, and
60
then,
years.
well, yeah. I wish they would have got into a little bit of the satellite people, but I guess.
I'm waiting for
Yeah.
resident Dune historian Jupes to just burst into this fucking call.
Summoned by,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, you get a lot less Thufir, which is a shame because he's really interesting. You get a lot more Duncan, which is like fine, I guess. Jason Momoa is fine, but I like that you get Duncan's actual death because he is a character that got pretty short shrifted in the David Lynch version. To be fair,
Yeah.
He comes in and says the word "fast" twice, doing the David Lynch whisper. Every character who wants to say something important in the Lynch version just says it twice, but whispers the second time. I believe the Fremen exist in vast numbers.
We need another plot dump. Let's overlay it on top of the screen.
Look, they had the Lynch used like the sort of like thoughts where you would like hear their thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of voiceovers.
Right. And like that's fine. Everybody was all angry at that. I'm not angry at that. It's fine. In the
That's what a book
remake with
is.
Villeneuve, he just had him say it out loud. Like
Yeah.
almost all of the things that were thoughts, he just literally had the character's voice out loud, almost the exact same lines in multiple places. So whatever, it's fine.
Fade Ratha should have been a twink, says Wayward Alva. Look,
Look,
he could have
the guy who
been. He
playing
was.
Fade
He was maybe almost there, but they made him the baldest man in the galaxy instead.
yes,
He had no hair.
He had no hair, whole body, no hair.
Hold on me.
but
That's-
Sting coming out of that like gas bath in the original one with the little blue underoos on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That can't be topped.
It's
Oh, it can.
I can't wait till a 2-year-old is gonna kill. Oh no, wait. I guess not, right? Because they already changed that in Dune 2,
Yeah, they
which was
retconned it.
admittedly, I guess it was more satisfying, although it wasn't what happened. But
No, I really didn't like that. I like Alia getting
it's the most terrifying thing in the world. That was one of the things I liked more, is that, like, she's pregnant and it's already reading her mind and talking to her, and and the fetus can already do advanced math and stuff, and is maybe kind of controlling her a little bit. Terrifying. I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, that was cool that they played that up. It's just a shame that they tried to compress the whole timeline, or they didn't try, they did.
Yeah.
Because that whole timeline with Paul and the Fremen happens over
In the years, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like,
it felt
but
like
they
a
were-
solid
she's
5 weeks
born-
summer camp.
What?
Right.
She's like 2 or something, 3 maybe even.
Yeah, she grows very rapidly, right? So, but she's still like the equivalent of like a 9-10-year-old in when the attack happens. So, but anyways, yeah, they're like Villeneuve is a beautiful visual director. He has such an incredible eye. Like certainly,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
the visuals are amazing. The Emperor's like chrome ship coming in over the city and it like reflecting and everything. Boy, all those special effects artists who worked really hard on that. I don't want to take anything away from them. That's gorgeous work.
That like
But-
monochrome stadium was really wacky.
Oh.
Yeah, and they filmed it in infrared, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really neat.
Like that was all great, and I liked all of that. Like so, the visual stuff in the new one obviously is well beyond. anything
Yeah.
you see there. That being said, if you go back and watch the original one again, which I have like 5 times since I've watched both Dune movies, the new ones, things like the set design on that original David Lynch movie are incredible. I don't know who they hired as like set builders, but they're amazing. Like, go look at the Emperor's throne room in the original Dune. It is gorgeous. Like, looking at it in 4K, like watching it recently in 4K, when I was like, oh my god, the detail that people put into this, right? You know, a lot of times you'll watch older movies on 4K and you're like, oh boy, they did not, you know, they thought people were watching this on like VHS.
There's a lot of effects and visuals that definitely worked in SD, and they weren't meant to be shown at 4K.
Right.
Or outside of 4x3 even.
Sure. But when you have good set designers just building like luxurious, incredible sets,
Yeah.
like that actually, when you go to 4K, scales up incredibly well, right? Like, because then you can actually see all the detail and love. Yeah, look at that room. Like, look at it. Look at all this crap. It's just like around, right? Like that is stuff. That's his throne room. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah, they're not standing in front of blue screens. That's great.
No. I mean, it feels like a very real space,
Yeah.
right? Also, I just like, since you got me on Dune, I'm just going to give you all my opinions. Apparently,
Mhm.
I found Christopher Walken as the Emperor completely underwhelming and disappointing.
Agree.
Sure.
Complete miscast.
Whereas the original guy, I don't remember his name. I apologize. He's a Spanish actor. Is incredible and amazing when he's like, "I want 15 legions of Sardaukar." But sir, that's our entire reserves as well. This is genocide, the deliberate and complete destruction of all life on Arrakis. Right? Like that dude brought some gravity.
Jose Ferreira.
Yeah.
There, that's his name. Thank you. Yeah, he's doing a little bit of like the old style acting where you just talked aloud and that was how you acted good.
With your finger pointed straight up to the ceiling during it, yeah.
Yes, but it's great.
I know what they were going for with the Walken thing, where it's kind of a Wizard of Oz moment, where behind it all the Emperor is a paranoid, diminished human, man, right? And that can work because it's certainly kind of true a lot of the times, but he was just always going to be literally Christopher Walken. I can't see anything else.
Yeah, he's so far gone from
Sunk
being
into
able to
himself.
be a
Ortiz,
character.
thanks for the 202 bits. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, Happy New Year 25 minutes ago.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I
I
can't
did
believe
mark it when it happened. Check the tape.
Pokemon Go to the New Year.
Released the David Lynch is Paul cut. Look,
Oh,
Dune
wait
was
a
pretty
second.
good, but I prefer the Alphabet Nightmare.
one other last note on Villeneuve's changes. I hate that he clearly has no appetite for politics in the story.
Yeah, well, that's too bad because this is Dune.
That's the whole story.
That's what it is.
This is the
Without the politics, you have fucking around in the desert and accidentally winning every encounter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is kind of what it was, which is sort of anticlimactic, to be honest, by the end of it, because you didn't see the earned victory from all of the scheming and foreseeing and planning and everything leading up to it.
Well, you don't get the fact that Paul and Shawnee had a child that gets killed by the Sardaukar infiltrators. Like, that's a pretty important thing.
Yeah.
It makes it feel like it's not constant victory, right? But whatever, that's fine. That wasn't in the Lynch version either, to be fair. It's in the they have a little bit of that scene, I think, in the extended one, and it was in the sci-fi one in the show.
Like at this point, why do they keep trying to make it movies? This should just be a television show.
It doesn't pace well when you try and cut that thick of a narrative into 2.5
that Dune
hours or
book
5
is
hours.
Thick.
Yeah,
It is
it's
thick.
fucking huge.
Thick.
And it's good.
But yes, in the idea of cutting out all the politics, there's no space in Guild, and I'm sorry.
Oh my god, I love them.
That Guild navigator who shows up in the Lynch one is such a nightmare. I know that's not what he had in his mind when he wrote the book originally, but I don't care. That weirdo floating in gas with his little creepy drip mouth, like, oh, that dude. And then
and the little sweeper guy that comes in and sweeps up all the slime, and it holds on it.
In the whole movie.
Like they're
He's
trying,
kind of cleaning up, not really, just like enough to be like, yeah, look, we kind of cleaned up.
Well, and I'm thinking about it from like a production standpoint. So like Lynch is actually going insane and considering killing the suits that are meddling with his shit and forcing him to shorten the movie and shorten the movie and shorten the movie and squeeze even more in. Fine, we'll do voiceovers for all this stuff because I just can't fit it all in. But he still holds on the slime sweeper guy for a very long time. And and he was right. That was very important. It makes the world lived in.
He knows what he's doing.
Like, I love it so much that we get that dude. And I love that you see that he's not really cleaning everything. He's just like there.
He's like looking like he's cleaning in front of people.
Correct. Yes. It's like important that the guild pretend like they care.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
And why didn't they turn it into a TV series? Well, they did in between. There was the Lynch Dune, and then there was a sci-fi series.
Well, sure, but
which was like a really early version of. You mean the modern, like make an HBO Max
television or whatever the fuck.
Well, I know those things are getting real expensive, but are they getting $400 million expensive? The HBO series.
I don't think so.
Like most of it's still actor cost.
Lord of the Rings, like a
Ring of Power.
Oh yeah, they spent
a gajillion dollars.
Oh sure, yeah.
$1 billion on the worst television series I've ever seen, and then they made another season of it.
Well, certainly the most boring one.
Well, there's Star Trek Picard. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
At least Picard is fun to make fun of. Rings of Power was awful.
Here's the true shame of Picard. Did you watch season 3?
Yeah.
No.
Where it became TNG again? Yeah.
Yeah, where it was just like, where it was good. Because they brought in the dude who was like a mega fan of TNG and just like slowly, organically brought the whole crew back together. And it was like, oh yeah, okay, it's pretty good. It's fine. I'm not saying it was like the best television show I've ever watched, but like, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
They actually had the characters and they all acted like themselves, so that was nice. It wasn't Garbo like the first 2 seasons.
Oh my god, it was just bad. It was bad.
Oh, there we go. Arrested at Waffle House. Dune. I'm only interested in Duke.
Hail to the king, baby.
Where's the Duke Nukem movie?
Oh jeez.
That would be good.
The Dookie
John
Nukem
Cena
movie.
as Duke Nukem. Let's fucking go.
He could do it. He's big enough. He'd wear a stupid hair.
He's big enough and he could play dumb enough to be Duke.
I want John Cena to act it, but I want John St. John to dub over the whole thing.
Oh, deal.
The John St. John cut.
Release the John St. John cut.
They just shoot it with John Cena, and then like John St. John just releases a dub over, you could just start playing at the beginning, like those riff tracks. Sync now to play the.
I'm fully supportive of anything getting John Cena in because honestly, he's a pretty funny guy. Like most everything I've ever seen him act in, I actually enjoy him in.
Yeah, he's I wouldn't call him like a good actor, but he's entertaining and he's got good presence. He's like a funny guy, kind of like the opposite of The Rock.
Yes.
Oh,
like
the complete opposite.
And a different sort of triangular opposite of what's his name, who started out the wrestler guy who was in Guardians of the Galaxy and he was like okay in it.
Oh, Batista?
And then he was in like Blade Runner and I'm like, oh, this guy, he's a big boy actor. He's like actually acting. Hold on. Yeah, Batista.
Yeah.
He became like an actor.
Yeah,
Batista, total actor.
Yeah. Impressive.
He lost 60,000 pounds and he's not big anymore, but
he's 60. You can't. Your heart's gonna explode. Keep doing
you gotta commit to the bit.
True.
He was like, I'm tired of being 300 pounds of muscle at 50.
Yeah. He's really good in the second Knives Out movie as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
yes,
Rock-
like, did you ever watch Bumblebee, the only Transformers movie that didn't suck?
Yeah.
I mean, of the modern era.
Of the live action ones, yeah.
I did not make it to Bumblebee.
Bumblebee was good.
Nobody
That's good.
did because they all thought it was just another one of those Transformers movies, but it's like it was Haley Steinfeld and John Cena. It's really funny. There's a moment in there, basically what, like, I'm not gonna go too deep on this, but just to continue the Cena thing. There's a moment in there, in effect, the Decepticons just show up and like introduce themselves to the military, and they're like, "Yeah, we're here chasing a criminal from our world. His name's Bumblebee. We got to kill him. We're Decepticons." They just literally introduce themselves like that, okay? And the military's like, "Yes, it checks out with us. We're good. Okay, you're our buddies now. Help it, okay?" And so they, at some point, like then some minutes later in the film, there's like a military group of leaders, and they're all getting together, and John Cena doesn't trust them. And he's like, "I don't know, guys. Are we sure we can trust them? Their name is the Decepticons. Doesn't that seem weird to anybody else?" And I'm like, that is a wonderful hang a lampshade moment on it right there. Well,
Yeah. I can agree with Just Cut here, where watching Batista come in through pro wrestling as a pro wrestling fan would not have called him as like future Blade Runner actor, giant Marvel movie guy. Not when he was Deacon Batista with fucking Devon Dudley. I did not expect that. Oh, agreed.
he's got the chops.
Deacon
He's proven
Batista.
himself. He's proven himself.
How did you guys' game go, by the way? I'm sorry, I was doing my normal.
Oh, that's fine. We had two games. So I'm testing out this new automatic mortal wounds no matter what thing, 4 to 6. And so I'm like, well, the monsters die easily, and they suck at fighting, but they've been getting cheaper forever, and they're real cheap now. And then suddenly they can do 4 mortal wounds always when they charge, and you can play 8 of them. That might be good. And it turns out it's all right.
It's pretty all right.
Okay.
I played one game. I charged with 6 monster trucks, and I did 36 mortal wounds, or like 30 mortal wounds, basically.
Sure.
And then I won a double turn, and I won. And then played another game, and I got some charges, and then we fought in the middle for a while until I lost. And so we're back to my homeland in Beastclaw Raiders, which is if you get the charge, it's a real game. And if you don't get the charge, you lose to anyone, no matter what they're playing. Just like Richard Garfield intended. And if you don't get a million charges all lined up perfectly and follow through on them, then simply play better next time.
A very nice. It's a good flow chart.
Yeah.
And,
Line up the charges.
and if you want to like try to do well or something in tournaments, you probably need Kragdos to be able to make sure you get all those charges. I bet. You're no longer double dipping on synergies where the 3d6 is also boosting the mortals, but you do need a delivery mechanism to make sure you get those charges, and 3d6 is a good way to do it. Plus, like, Kragnos is pretty decent, and his price seems to be going down always, so.
S2D is just bringing that 3d6 charge love all the time, so, there you go. They all just find God now in the middle of battle and charge 3d6. It's great for them.
It's great for them. I love that for them.
I love that for them.
I love that for them.
I've got to work my ass off for a charge.
Anyway, it's great, and Guaranteed is a really it's more than George Zimmer. It's good in AOS. All right, I'm gonna. Oh, I won priority. Do I take the turn? Well, let's see. How many wounds are those guys over there that I need to kill? 20. Okay. Well, the min I can roll is 4, and I'm charging with 6 things. So that's 24. So take it, and that's it. It's nice to be able to do that again. Are they like a strong army? Probably, almost certainly not.
No.
But
God, no.
I don't know. You get to play the game, and you kind of weren't playing the game before.
Yeah.
As win percents and stuff were evidenced
You
by.
at least get to charge and do shit.
Yeah, you
instead
get
of
to charge and do
charge
shit.
Die.
You get to have fun.
Remember fun?
Vaguely.
The armies I play, I don't remember much of it. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's a joke.
Well, I'm having fun with S-Blight. They are a blast.
Big blasters.
I'm really worried that the the Blood Knight hero that got leaked, or probably a hero, I'm worried it's going to be good, because then I'm going to have to change my list. And if I have to change my list to fit in another hero, the one thing that goes is Laukavai, and that's my bitch wife. So, she's staying.
Well, if it follows the history of literally every mounted hero they've released,
It's
in
bad.
basically all of AOS, it's bad. and
It's
no
going to
one's
be
done it.
240
Yeah.
points and suck and not have a buff. It's fine.
Yeah, but if it's a vampire, it'll maybe be a wizard, and that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. And then, of course, it's.
Fast-moving wizard is probably a good thing.
Yeah, you're granted your +1 for being outside of combat as well with that awesome subfaction.
Unless they ruin that awesome subfaction because they don't want to write 3 other good ones.
Yeah, I mean.
So they have to bring down the water
Maybe.
level.
Oh,
Let's
a
equal
funny
this out.
event that happened in the game was, Thunder Tusk Beast Riders are 220 points now.
Oh, yeah.
They're 220,
Jesus.
which is very cheap. Now, they're very bad, so they're probably worth that, because they can't, they have 3 attacks. They hit on 4s with Rend 1. They generally don't do anything in the combat phase, and they die. I had a Thunder Tusk Beast Rider fighting against Fell Bats, and they ate him like corn on the cob.
The Fellbats.
Fell Bats.
Fellbat sleeve.
He was in Bat Country, and Fellbats took him down definitively.
Down.
He did 1 damage to them. He fought first, and then they put like 8 on him, and then the next combat he missed
from
missed
the
everything, and then they
throw it
killed
here.
him.
That's amazing.
Fellbats 2-shotted Thunder Tusk
Personality,
Beast,
kid.
2-shotted him.
They're simply too good.
It was great. It was hilarious.
220. Aren't Skull Reapers 220?
Ooh,
For
probably
10?
thereabouts. Let's see.
Here, it's been a second since I looked at corn.
That Thunder Tusk being surrounded by Fellbats.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in.
No, 220 for 5. That's right.
Oh, 220
I'd still
for
take 220 for 5.
Yeah.
Annihilate.
And they got
5
the
Skull
Beast Rider.
Reapers make what? Are they 3 attacks each or 4 attacks each?
4 attacks each. And they got crit mortals.
Crit Mortals
it.
damage too.
So 21 attacks with on 3s and 3s? Yes?
4s and 3s.
4s and 3s, okay. 21 attacks on 4s and 3s.
All out attacks. Obviously.
Damage to crit mortal. Okay.
Mhm.
220 points. And, by the by, 15 wounds, right? They're 3 wound models on a 4-up save.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So 15 wounds on a 4-up save. That makes 21 4-up, 3-up, some amount of rend, 2 damage crit mortal attacks. or one model with what? 14 wounds?
14 wounds on a
3
4-up,
attacks.
3 attacks, 4s and 2s, 1 rend, 5 damage.
Okay.
And then some punches and kicks.
Oh, gotta have the punches.
Gotta have the
and
punches
kicks.
and kicks in there.
Those
The,
always count.
the 6 punches and kicks, 4s and 2s, no rend, 1 damage.
Very nice. Yeah, those seem completely equivalent to me.
Yeah, these are they are. They're exactly the same. They're
Yeah, they're each 220. You know.
Well, fuck both of these guys. What are Vanguard at now?
330.
Jesus Christ. And they're still good. They're so
because
good.
they're good. Well, 3 of them are probably bad and overpriced at that point.
Yeah.
Most. But 6 of them at 660 are amazing. Like, it's the difference. We talked about this in the show, right? It's the reinforcement problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
one of the problems for armies like BCR or Suns or whatever is that your units are just indelibly what they are. Outside of, like, obviously I'm saying BCR here, not Gutbusters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the game currently, you're either reinforced or you're not invited to this battle, right? Like, yeah, I mean, you're either reinforced or you're like a prospector unit or a single hero.
Right, yeah.
The game is all of that. So these like monsters just are no match for these mass reinforced units because the more than ever, like the limited buffs that are there, but what happens just piles up and becomes this overwhelming force on the larger cohort of models. So, like, 3 Vanguard, crap. 6 Vanguard, best unit in the game.
Yeah, like if you could pay $250 for a Stonehorn or $500 to like triple its stats, like the equivalent of reinforcing a monster or something, you would just be doing that because that's what you do this edition. You play 100-point things with a movement speed as high as you can find it, and then you reinforce stuff and put it on the table so that it can one-shot a Gargant because you need to do that. Or
One-shot a Gargant,
kill 20
never gonna
guys
go
because you're
away.
going to need to do that.
Yeah, and like 6 Vanguard could easily take down 2 Gargants in a round. Like, that wouldn't
That's
be...
not unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and dance on them.
Yeah.
And there's just, like, defense in this current edition, I mean, I remember originally, Heywoah, you asked me, like, is objective control going to matter? And I said, well, I've only played a few games, but it's come up, it seems like it'll matter. Clearly, we had not unlocked the maximum damage potential yet. Like, we hadn't discovered just what we were in for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember reading through the 4th edition spoiler rules, and as the leaks and stuff started rolling in, and I'm reading all this stuff, and I'm like, they think capture numbers are going to matter in this edition, and if they don't, and it doesn't, it maybe looks like they're not going to, but I guess trust, if capture bonuses don't matter this edition, a whole lot of stuff is useless.
Yeah.
And
we traded one dumb rule you didn't like, which was like, you get a +2 to bravery or whatever, right? Or
yeah, and now it's like you get a +3 to capturing on your 60 grots if they're exactly under the moon. Like, great, cool. We made objectives smaller so it's harder to fit 2 guys on it. Just simply kill them and you control the point.
And you will. 'cause
The old
damage
simply
effort
kill them,
is
always
crazy.
choose rock. Nothing beats rock.
Remember when 3rd edition was the Killy edition?
I remember when basically every edition was the Killy edition for one reason or another. I remember playing
1st
against
edition.
Goutfire Scorch in 1st edition, and it felt like the Killy edition.
God, Godfire Scorch. Now we're talking nostalgia.
How many wounds are in your army total? Okay, just asking as we deploy. By the way, I'm null deploying.
By the way, my only model is Nagash.
Hey, you seem to be deep striking inside of my unit. Yeah, I can do that. Oh. Yeah, I guess you can, huh? Any dice rolling involved in this whole process? Not really, just the D3 mortals. Times 24.
That was,
it was the Marvel
that was
vs.
a time.
Capcom 2 edition, and I was here for it.
Hit him with the foot dive.
Get him with those lightning loops in the corner. Guess for game. I mean, I guess we still have guess for game. It's priority a lot of the time, so there's that.
Oh. What do you think about this, Vince? Hot take. Saurus Warriors should be 3 wounds to make them actually elite and not just worse Chaos Warriors.
No, they are worse Chaos Warriors. That's what they should be.
Oh, God.
They should just be cheaper.
Take him to fucking church. Boom.
Like, I'm sorry. Like they're just like semi-naked lizards from the jungle. Yes, they should not be as good as the most, sort of hardened elite wall of iron warriors from that the forces of chaos can generate.
God damn.
So
two
on
things
on
that
one
should be on
hand
that
you're
level in the
completely
game.
correct, and on another hand, that's the kind of thinking that creates NPC grand alliances.
Hey, I
True.
understand. You're not wrong, but I'm just like, look, man, top
yeah.
down. I don't find it wrong. Like just make them cheaper. I'm not saying they should be the same point cost,
Oh,
right?
Storm
Like, whatever,
Vermin,
whatever.
2 wounds. Hmm.
Are they not 2 wounds?
No, they're 1-wound models. That's why they're bad, and will
What
always
the
be bad.
fuck?
Well, look at it. It's a
I got
little.
news
It's a
for
little
you.
rat. One
Anime
wound.
still fucking sucks.
I only play this game because I love gambling.
I love ga-
I love gambling. What? How are they not? They're just, you take clan rats and you make them elite. What's the first thing you do when you make it elite? Give it an extra health.
Slap a wound on there.
No,
And
no.
then
You give it.
the
You give it a
answer is,
4-up save, and
Give it
and
+1
then
to
triple
save.
its cost.
+1 to hit, and +1 to wound. And you give them some rend, and then you remember that none of this matters because the base clan rats come in double the number of wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have crit auto wound, which is an amazingly good ability because that means clan rats actually always generate wounds. It doesn't matter that they hit on 4s; it's irrelevant. They do 6 to 7 damage every time they swing. Period. That's all you get out of them. They are endless spell killers. If someone's dumb enough to get an endless spell near your clan rats, they handle that.
Oh
Just
my
kill that thing
God.
right off. No, storm vermin are terrible.
I feel sick.
As in,
That's-
by the way, it's not just storm vermin. Like there's a whole class of foot infantry
Yeah.
like that, where if your unit caps at 20 health, at 20 total health, right, 20 total wounds, and you have, a save that says 4-up or worse, you're garbage.
You're trash
you can't-
fucking ass.
Yeah, you can't survive anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Called the Blood Warrior Zone.
You die to a stiff breeze.
Although now Blood Warriors are at least a pet unit. If you just take 20 of them.
Hey, they got their
Yeah.
3-up save after a hard-fought battle.
20 Blood Warriors is viable. Just you could just be taking more Skull Reapers.
yeah, the issue is always like those little thin units that just evaporate. I don't know, like, what am I doing with Daemonettes? Like, what am I doing with this 6-up unit, right? Like,
Yeah.
Just bad. And a bad unit can have a job as a carpet, but if they point them like they're the elite carpet, then why would I take X when 2 times X costs less?
It reminds me of those games that, in video game terminology, they all came out around the Dreamcast era, and in people's tabletop
the
games they
Dreamcast.
tried to make. I don't know when it was, probably around the same time, but it was like, okay, we're gonna make rules for combat for our RPG game, either video game or tabletop, and it's like you have attack, okay? Attack hits 90% of the time, it does 10 damage, and we're gonna make big swing attack. It takes 2 actions instead of 1, and it does almost double damage, but not quite. And then there's nothing else to sweeten the deal.
Yeah.
And they actually shipped it. And you're like, well, but why?
But
Yeah,
why?
and it'll be like a 60% chance to hit.
What's the big swing? What if you crit?
Yeah. I could crit and explode this guy.
Whoa. Yeah, stuff like that.
Or the ones that are just straight up like 1 attack, 10 damage. 2 action attack, 20 damage. Why would you do that? Especially if it goes off after the second one.
Yeah. It is, how do you say stupid? It's like the first thing you think of as a stupid idea, and then someone says it's stupid and you refine it.
Well, it takes a
That's
lot
what
of
testing's
iteration.
I blame Todd Howard.
Todd the God Mod Howard? 12 times the
Todd.
detail?
That son of a bitch. 16 times.
Oh,
the
16
detail.
times, not 12.
King of the chess club.
Yeah, and he accomplished that.
Yeah, he did it. You did it, Todd. You made your mom proud.
I blame Todd
Boys,
Howard for Age of
2
Sigmar.
a.m. here where I am, so I'm calling it a night.
Oh, you go.
Oh, no problem. We got another 8
Thanks for
minutes
hanging
until it's West Coast Christmas, whatever.
Mountain time in,
Christmas or
in 5
whatever.
minutes. It's another hour till West Coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're 2 hours behind.
California, see you later. I'm out of here.
Have a good night, boys.
Yeah, night
See ya.
Chris. Thanks for hanging out.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me jump in. Bye, all.
Oh, thanks. Special guest, Vince the Body Bencherella.
Fucking Chad.
And California, I think you're about to overtake Germany for the 4th largest economy in the world. So, no love lost here. Eat shit. Happy New Year. I'm out.
We're getting fucking cringy